Hello, and welcome back. I'm Bearded Busker, and I've been putting together some tutorial videos lately, hoping to get more runners into attempting and learning the techniques. They're more beginner-friendly than they look, and I want this community to be thriving. I would love to see races peppering the SRL front page. However, I am happening upon one of the scariest tricks in the game right now, and so I want to show off some things about the mechanics that when you put it all together, it's not that any one input's difficult, there's just a lot to it. We've talked about how when you're less than a tile away from the wall, Yuri's teleshots just don't go through. But if you're more than a tile away, they work fine. So there he was within a tile, there he wasn't. We've talked about how the game will lock Yuri's Y velocity for a few frames after a teleshot, and so I can get a jump out of thin air if I'm a little quicker. Jump out of thin air, or if I jump just before the shot hits, I still get a full jump height. We use that to clear obstacles normally the developers don't intend, but here we're going to put together those two mechanics and circumvent the entire game itself. First of all, we want to get onto this ledge up here. There's an easy way to do that, but we're speedrunners, so we aren't going to do it the easy way. We're going to do a little circle jump here that requires us wading to the very corner of this ledge and then turning around to climb like so. But one habit that's going to be good to get into early on, we're going to want to just tap right, don't hold right. Tap it, because if I crank back too far to the right, I get within a tile. Okay, you see the difference in those two trajectories? Yeah. The other thing is, you have to release left right away. If I try to press right while I'm holding left, this happens. That gets me all the time when I'm trying the more advanced jump. So we've gotten up here, that's half the hard work. Now, what we're going to need to do is put a bunch of stuff together. We can get to that ledge in the upper left corner, and the developers did not want that to happen. So that's what our first shot's going to look like. And remember, I told you, you have a few frames where you can get away from the wall, like on a platform. So right before the shot hits, we want to start holding right. The only thing is, if I start too early and I'm in free fall, I'm instantly dropping there and I'm never going to get a jump. So we want to stand on the left edge of this ledge, fire, start holding right about where you saw him move. I'm going to stop talking and just give you the visual. So when I do that well, we have a bit of a platform to work with. The next thing is going to be to get a jump off while we're moving right. The problem is, here's another place where it can go wrong. If I jump too soon, notice that he immediately takes off at a perfect 45-degree angle to the wall. That's not going to get us far away enough from the wall. Notice how it did kind of a Nike swish there. He was moving laterally to the right and then jumped up. You want to wait a pretty precise number of frames, like 4 or 5 frames, and then hit the jump. So we need to practice getting this swish before we worry about the rest of it. A lot of times jumping too soon is the reason for me to fail this trick. From there, we're going to just tap, not hold, tap left to turn around and face the wall. You see this jump that I'm doing right now? We're doing the exact same thing. The only thing that makes it difficult is we're coming right off a very difficult to timed jump on the other end. So what was I doing wrong just there? I was jumping about here instead of here. So you see I turned around, and we're putting a lot together now. So we're just tapping left, and as soon as we get turned around, we gotta fire another teleshot. If you've gotten a tile away from the wall, then you will respawn. That time I didn't get a tile away. Bah. And if you get a tile away and turn around and fire it while you're still rising, you're rewarded with a boosted jump that allows you to climb up to the top of this ledge. It's a lot to put together though, because this jump, it's not frame perfect, but you've got about 2 or 3 frames. This turnaround isn't pixel perfect, but you've got about 2 or 3 pixels. And then that shot isn't frame perfect, but you've got about 2 or 3 frames. Then, on the off chance that you get a correct input and you get the boosted jump, you've got to remember to crank left to actually land on the ledge. I've actually had a few failures where I get the boosted jump and I get so excited about it that I just drop helplessly back down. So now we're on the ledge and we just fire this shot and we're on top of the game. So we're walking, and this first one we've got this weird one tile ceiling. I'm not sure why. It has to do with what's in the map below. But then, when we go down to where we're at ground level, we gotta get ready, because in the next screen is when we're gonna come back down in bounds. You've got about 7 of Yuri's steps, and then whoop. So we want to fire a shot right then, otherwise we're back in bounds and we don't get the full benefit of the trick. While we're here, I'm going to take the time to show off the second of the 3 advanced out of bounds skips. If you choose to use Resumes, and this is how my mind works, is collectibles % route, you're going to need this one. My route doesn't use it. So we're in the room where this secret collectible is, and to come back out, we're going to have to put a few things together again. That's kind of a theme, and this one actually does involve 1 frame perfect input. So we're going to fire this shot and then turn around. The reason is, sorry, let me get back up. Using those 5 frames where we're able to get off a free jump, we're going to have to both fire a teleshot and jump. If you know the triple crossed skip, you know that it involves restoring Yuri's grounded state for just a frame before you respawn. We're doing that there, so that bottom shot is supposed to hit first, and that gives us our grounded state back so we can jump back up to the ledge. And you see I'm not actually that good at this trick because I don't actually use it in my speedruns, so this might take me a couple attempts before I can even demonstrate it done well. And that is as near to frame perfect as anything in this game, if it's not. And in fact, it might be double frame perfect. So, shoot, return, shoot, jump, and the teleshot happens first, so that all happens really quickly. I consider this harder than the first one, and so that's why I developed a route for collectibles % that's within a few seconds and doesn't have to do it. Now, so we're back up here. This is important. The next room over has another like 1 tile ceiling, while this one doesn't, so it's not going to let you transition into the screen, and the game's going to freak out. Watch this. So we don't want that. So when you're coming back from this when you're coming out of this one, you need to jump in these last couple tiles, so you land on this gate. So now we're going to drop back in. You can time that shot to land on that ledge and go about your merry way. That brings us perfectly into the last of the 3 major out of bounds skips. This is probably the easiest of the 3, but it's probably the one that I make the most silly mistakes on, so take that with a grain of salt. We're going to get up on that top left ledge. No, sorry, that top right ledge. We never do actually land on the top left one. But a lot of stuff goes on again. We want a shot to go off in this tile here. So not a full jump up, but a tile jump. So I choose to take a full jump and shoot it on the way down just to make sure Yuri's in his grounded state. So we're going to come down, then crank right and jump. Now, if you jump too soon, you're going to bonk here. So again, we need to take advantage of the fact that we have a few frames. Crank right and jump. When you're on the same tile as that tan ledge, then you shoot. And you notice that I was falling back left. The reason is, that's the highest ground height we need to get Yuri in his grounded state again. So we're going to go boom, boom, we're on the ground. You know what, maybe I'm making that up. I'm sorry, it's my own tutorial and I'm still messing it up. So you want to crank left so that Yuri's facing left. That's what's important about it, I'm sorry. So he's facing left, immediately fire your return shot there. So did you see that? Like as soon as I spawned, before I dropped, because a shot has to come across left at that same tile height. If you wait too long, let me do it without bonking first. If you wait too long, you're going to be back in this green nook again. So left, now we're going to jump, but you notice that I did just a tap, not a full height jump. Oh, okay. Because you have to make sure that Yuri hits the apex of his jump and is on the way down before you fire this last shot. You need Yuri to get to his grounded state. So I'm going to fail the trick after all of this setup if I shoot too soon. So we go, shoot too soon, he didn't land, and I fell quite a long way as my penance. This time I'm going to do it, and I'm going to wait a second, and it hits and I jump right when he spawns. He was only on the ground in his previous state for like 1 frame, but now we're out of bounds, and this one's a short one. We drop right back in, and this enables us to try for this advanced junkyard exit transition, which I failed. But now you have all the ingredients for the advanced out of bounds tricks in this game. Thank you for watching.